Hi everyone, hello. Very good afternoon, each and every person. I hope my voice is audible, right? Guys? Yeah, very good afternoon, each and everyone. My voice is clear, everyone. Please let me know in the Q&A. Yeah, you can use emoji also, no fun. That is also fine. Yep, that's great. That's great. So you all know about today's context, right? So today we are going to discuss about the form configuration as well as, and we have left with three types of creation of fields during using forms. Okay. So first we will discuss that. Then after we will move with the next thing that is like extents table. So we have discussed about two types of tables, right? Sorry, four types of tables. So one is one to one, one more is many, sorry, one to many, database view as well as extents. Okay. So whereas coming to one, it is very simple, and one to many, one to many will be seen in today's class only. That is using reference table. Then after we will move with the extents table. Okay. So whereas coming to many to many, it is already done with the users and roles. Okay. So I haven't shared any screen as for now. Guys, please wait because students are still joining, right? So let them join also. Then after we'll start our class, today's class. Okay. And we will learn something new, and we will discuss how many types of creation of fields and how many ways, and what happens if we create a field using this one and that one, different ways. Then after we will go with different data types also. What is the use of this data type and how we are using this data type particularly. Okay. So we will see a lot of configurations today. Topic name is extension of table administrator only, and we are mainly focusing on form configuration. Okay. So in the previous class, we have started table administrator. In that only, we are discussing form configuration as well as types of tables. That means four relationships of tables. Okay. So one is done. One is many to many is done. I need to show one to many as well as I need to show extents table. So database view is very clear, guys. That is only separate table. Now we are working on the task table, right? The same way we are going to work on one more table called CMDB. So that's it. So I will show that as well. I will show that as well. These three, I don't know exactly what is the thing. You can ask to this to the support team. Okay. So I don't know whether you are capable to write once again or not, or you can use this one. I don't know. So you can contact to the support team. They will definitely reply to you. Okay. Monica, I already told that, right? Time zone in the last session itself. Guys, just wait for 5 more minutes, 5 to 10 more minutes. Let them also join. And if your friends are there in this particular course, let them also know the session has been started and they will also join the class. Then we can start the class. Okay. So please be patient and wait for 5 to 10 minutes. Then after we will start working on our concept, and we will get to know more about in detail about the data management. Okay. So guys, just wait for 5 minutes. Then after we will start. Guys, once again, very good afternoon to each and every person. And yeah, still students are joining in the session. So let them join. But we will start our concept, guys. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the another three ways that we have left on the Friday. So how we are going to create fields. And while creating the fields, I'm also going to discuss different data types where we are going to use these different data types and how I'm going to use that. Okay. I'm also show you that whenever I'm picking one data type, how it is validating the data inside that. Okay. So previously we took only string as well as we have taken only phone number, right? So if you observe in the phone number also, there will be some different changes. I will let you know. So let me share my screen, guys. Please let me know whether you are able to see that or not. Okay. So guys, please let me know whether you are able to see the screen or not. Yep. So I think everyone can see the screen. Start. So thank you for the response, guys. Yep. Let me quickly show you how the data has been entering into the data table. So previously we have created our table, right? What is our table name? Student. So student is our table name. I'm clicking on the student here. So this is how I have entered the data, sample data. Okay. So while entering the data, when I'm clicking on the new record while entering the data, so you can observe that whenever I'm presenting data in this particular field, these are the string one, right? These are the data type string that can accept number as well as bits. Okay. So I can give whatever I want. But whereas coming to this phone number, I can't give this. It won't accept that. Okay. So let me click on submit. Sorry. Let me open the record. See, the phone number data has been not taken here. Okay. So you got it? How it is taking the validation. And here you can observe that in this particular phone number, when I'm entering some phone number, right? Whenever I'm entering some phone number, it do pick the country randomly. So however you are starting with your phone number, that automatically pick the country. So if you want to definitely select one country and if you want to enter that format, you can select that. If I want to enter my phone number in the form of Italy, I can do that. Otherwise, if I want to enter my phone number directly, like I know my India phone number, right? So that starts with it starts with what it starts with? That starts with plus 91. So then I can enter 10 digits like these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these how I can enter the phone number. So after entering my phone number, previously there is no particular country called India, but it is automatically picking the country. You observe that, right? So these how the phone number works. These how the phone number data type works. Okay. So this is also very important, guys. That's why I'm telling that whenever you are using any data type or a field to be stored in the record, that is very important which data type you are choosing. So let me tell you one more thing. So in the previous class, we have discussed, let me revise the previous class, what we have discussed. So in the previous class, we have discussed how we are going to create table. And then after, there is a different way of looking at the table, like without creating any application as well as module, we can open the table, and with creating the application and module, we can open the table. So we have observed two ways. So for that second way, I have used my next table as demo test. So we have created one demo test table as well. So in that particularly, I have selected, actually, sorry, I have disabled one option called create module. Let me show that once again. Okay. So tables, that should be under system definitions. Okay. So let me click on the tables under system definition. Click on the tables. So you all can see the tables, right? Now let me search for my table. Demo. This is my table that I have created previously. So here one more tip I'm going to give you. One more tip, guys. Please note it down also. So if you want to open this particular table, but you want to stay this page here only, and this particular table that you're opening, that should be open in the next page or next tab, you can use control plus right click. automatically it's open this particular record in the next tab. Okay, so this is one of the tip that you can note down. So this is also very important when you are working on the multiple pages or multiple tables. Okay, it will help you a lot. Okay, so here you can see there is no particular application has been created for this particular table, and there is no data that we have entered, and we have just created randomly this table to show that whether we can create a table or not without application. Okay, so you already know that whenever we are creating a table, there are a lot of things that are going to be created with the table, right? So you all can see that 6 fields and 1 role and 4 ACLs. So these all things will be created. Depends on the application choice that we are going to choose, that will be created also. Okay, let me open the student one as well. Search for the student. So control, right click on the student record. Sorry, it wasn't selected. Control, right click on the student record. It's open. Open new tab. So you all can see for this particular table, there is application has been created also extra, and we have created few fields as well. So whereas coming to the demo, I haven't created any fields, but I want to show whether we can create an application without any module as well as application or not. Okay, and we even can access that as well using different users as well. Okay, so as I told, to access this particular application as well as role, sorry, whatever the thing that is there inside that application, we need a role. Okay, we need a role. So if I want to access this demo table, then I need a role called u_demo_test_user. This role should be there for the user. Then only I can access this particular table in that particular user. Okay. So whereas coming to the student also, if I want to give access for the student, I need to go to the students and I need to give this particular role to the user. Then only student can access. I can access student data in different users. Okay. Yeah. So, and we also observe that how many ways we can create a fields. That is 2 ways. One, we can directly insert a new row. So this is how we are going to define a table, sorry, fields. But here, whenever we are creating any field in this particular format, we are not checking whether the API name has been created or not. We are not checking whether we are giving the field, we are giving the proper type or not. So even though we are not giving any type, it will automatically create the field in your table. Okay, so even though if you are not giving any type in this particular format, insert a new row, it will automatically select string as a data type and it will automatically create one field in your table. Okay, but whereas coming to the second way, that is you need to click on the new option beside these columns. You always see the new option, right? To create a new field, we need to click on this. So if you click on this particular button, it will firstly ask to me select the data type. Okay, it will firstly ask me to select the data type. If I choose any data type from this list of things, choose any data type, then it will ask me to give the label name. If I enter the label name, then API name will be generated. Okay, but even though if you're not seeing this API name, whenever you're clicking on the insert a new row option, don't worry that it will also create the same API name using the same label name that you are giving. Okay, don't worry, it do also create the same API name with the label name that you are entering in a insert a new row option. Okay, so these are the 2 ways that we have observed, guys. Okay, these are the 2 ways that we have observed while how you can create the fields, and we also checked with the different level of access that we can access the table or not. Okay, so today I already told that we are going to discuss 2 more ways, 2 more relationships for the table, and as well as there are 3 more ways to create a fields. Okay, so firstly let me discuss about the fields. Okay, so firstly let me discuss about the fields. There are 3 more ways. So we have discussed two ways using table. Okay, total means there are 5 ways to create a fields. 2 are from the table and 3 are from the form. So now let me tell you how we are going to do that using forms. Okay, so let me tell you now how we are going to deal with this particular kind of things, like particular creation of fields using forms. So how we are going to do that? So for that, we need to go to the all. Okay, so we need to go to the all. So which form you want, which form we want to work on? So we want to work on student form. Okay, because we are building the student So in the second day or third day, we have discussed, right? We have one user story where we are going to work on our college application. For that, we are going to store the data in the students as well as in the mentor. Okay. So mentor is means faculty. Okay. So we are going to create a data model for them where I'm going to store the student data as well as I'm going to store the faculty data where I want to use this application in my college. Okay. So for that particularly, we are focusing on creating a fields for the student. Okay. So first we have discussed and created few fields. So what are those fields? Name, sorry, first name, last name, phone number, as well as you can see one more thing called email. Okay. So now let me tell you guys, we are going to create few more fields using different formula, sorry, field types. Okay. So for that, we need to go to the student form. Okay. So for that, we need to go to the student form that is there in the student table. Okay. So now let me click on students. Then it will show the list of records. Okay. Then it will show the list of records. But if I click on new, this is the form that I am viewing, right? This is the form that I am viewing now. Okay. So from here, we are going to see there are three more ways where we are going to create a fields. Okay. Now, first way. So please write it down, guys. The first way is form layout. Okay. So let me show you. The first way is form layout, and second way is form design. The third way is form builder. Okay. The form builder is the thing that is came in the Xanadu version. Okay. Form builder is the one that is added in the Xanadu version. Previously, there is no form builder, guys. Okay. So please note it down as well. Previously, there is no form builder as well. Okay. So how you can go and access that particular three types. So let me show you. So whenever you are opening any record, there will be three lines over there. Okay. So beside the record, student, okay, student new record, there will be three lines over there that we call as a content menu. Okay. So if I click on this, it will show few options. In that I need to move my cursor to the configuration. If I move my cursor to the configuration, it will show the list of things that I can do for this particular table. Even if I want to access the table that is there in the backend, I have created this table in the backend, right? That is with the name of student. But I am seeing now front end of this particular page where I can see the list of fields. I can enter the data of the student. But if I want to go to the back end of the table, I can directly click on this table. It will directly go to the table view. Okay. It will directly go to the table view. And if you want to see all the things that has been happened, and these are the topics that we are going to discuss later on, guys. Tech security rules, business rules, client script policies, data policies, UI actions, notifications, dictionary. So I will tell you what are those things and how we are going to deal with that as well. And so these are the three ways that we are going to discuss for now. That is form layout, form design, form builder. Okay. So if I click on form layout, so this is the simple and easy way to create a fields, guys. This is a very simple and easy way to create a fields where we can create a fields in a faster way. Okay. Where we can create a fields in a faster way. So let me minimize my screen. So you all can see, right? In the particular left available section, these are the things that are additionally given to our particular table. As whereas coming to the right side of the session, these are the selected things, right? These are the selecting things. These are visible on the form. And if you want to create a new field, where we need to go? No need to go anywhere. Just scroll down. Okay, just scroll down. Here you will see options called create new field. In that particularly, we need to mention the name of the field. Then after we need to decide the type of the field. Then after we need to decide any other additional features depend on the data type that we are going to select. Okay. Suppose if I select string, there are three additional ways that I can select a string. That should be a smaller string. That should be a medium string. That should be a larger string or extra large string. I can decide that. Okay. So if I go with any other data type, there is no additional features I need to add for the data type. Okay. So now let me enter few fields for this particular student. Okay, so please give few fields for the students, guys. Please tell me in the chat what are the fields that I can take for the student. Please mention few fields for the student where I can pick the data and I can store that in my table. Yes, one is telling student ID. Yep. Rule number. Chiranjeevi, please check with your connection because I have a good internet connection now. I think my voice is not breaking for everyone. So guys, yep. Let me pick one from this particularly. Okay. Where is my, yeah, this is my table, right? So I'm going to add student fee. Okay. What is their annual fee that they need to pay for the college? Okay. That is student fee. But I'm particularly choosing price, or I can choose, I can choose integer as well. But if I choose price, it will show in the format of dollars or INR, that I can decide, right? So let me click on add. You can see my field has been added over here in the selected section. You can see my field is added over in the selected section. I can move that particular field to the point where I want to set that. Okay. Even I can move that particular field where I want to decide to see that particular field. Okay. So I'm removing this, guys, created by and created date. That is not necessary for me. Okay, let me go and create few more fields. Let me give one more field, guys. Okay, that is date of birth. Date of birth. Okay, so that is decided based on the date. Okay, so let me choose data type here. We have a date. Okay, so for the student fee, we also have a currency field, guys. Okay, so if you check that, we can choose one more field as currency. That depends on the choice that we are choosing. Okay, so we need to carefully choose whatever the data type that is necessary for us. Okay, so for the student fee, I can choose currency as well. So you see now I'm choosing date of birth and date as my data type. Let me click on add now. Okay, so that's all for that this thing. Let me add these two for the form and let me show you whether these two particular fields are being displayed on the form or not. For that, let me click on save. You always see this, guys. Always you will see whenever you're clicking on the save on the form layout, you always see this kind of a notification whether this particular field that you have created is been added to the table or not. Okay, so if that is showing 100% completed, then only you will see these particular fields on the form. Otherwise you are not going to see that particular fields on the form. Now let me close this and let me show you. So you all can see, right? I can see the student fee is been added as well as date of birth is also added. And here, when I have decided that student fee should be a currency. So previously I have selected that as a fee, sorry, price, right? My data type I have selected as a price, but now I want to display that as a currency. I want to change my data type. How can I do that? Okay. So getting, guys, everyone are able to understand. Guys, are everyone able to understand this particular thing that I'm going to discuss now? What I'm teaching now? Am I too fast or am I going slow? Everything is perfect? Yeah, everything is perfect. So now what is my scenario, guys? Now what is my scenario? So previously when I'm creating my field using form layout, I have selected the different data type. So for the student fee, the particular data type that I have selected, that is price. But now I got to know that there is one more field data type that I can choose as a currency. But that is a better option that I want to give for this particular field. For that, what I can do? For that, what I can do? So for that, we have an option called dictionary, guys. Okay. So here comes the topic, one more topic, that is field dictionary, where we are going to see all the things that are given to the field. That is nothing but the properties of a field. So to see the properties of a field, where we need to go is like, so suppose I want to see the properties of a student fee. So if I want to display the properties of a student fee table, sorry, field, what I need to click is like, I need to go to the label name of that particular field. I need to right click on that. I need to right click on that. Then after I will see some pop-up is been given over here. In that particularly, if you go for configure label, if you go for configure label, what is this configure label, guys? Name that you have given to that particular label, that is student fee. If I want to change that, I can go with the first option, configure label. Then I can change my field label name. Okay. So if I want to decide that, if I want to change that particular configure label name, if I click, I will directly click on configure label. Then it will open the new page. You all can see. Okay. So where you all can see that is directly coming from the student table. Okay. So the page is not loaded yet, guys. It will take time to load that. Yeah. So it is coming from the which table? Student table. And you all can see the label name is student fee and plural name is student fees. So if I want to change this label name, is college fee. If I want to change the student name, sorry, label name, then I can decide what should I want to keep. And I can click on update. And don't try to change the API name, guys, that has been generated whenever you're creating on the field. If you change that, what happens is like it will automatically show the error for you. Okay, it will automatically show one error for you where you can't change the API name of that particular label. Okay, so click on update. So you got to know how it got changed. This is nothing but a configure label. Now let me click on this particularly one more time. So we can see what is the API name of the table. Sorry, API name of the field here only. Show u underscore student underscore fee. You all can see, right? This is the API name for the field that we are seeing. And if you want to see what are the securities that is been acting for that particular field, you all can see. If you want to configure the particular field styles, okay, you people can do that as well. And now let me show you what is this config dictionary and what are all things that we can do using this config dictionary. Okay, now let me click on this config dictionary. So in this particular config dictionary only, we are going to see the all the properties of a table, sorry, all the properties of a field that we have selected where we can modify our table field. So whatever the field that we have selected, if you want to modify that, if you want to change the properties of that particular field, we can do that using dictionary entries. Okay, we can use that using dictionary entries. What is this dictionary entries? Is nothing but the config dictionary. We need to select the config dictionary to modify our field where we can decide the label name. So previously also we have changed the label name using configure label, right? We even can do that from here as well. So we even can change the label name of that. We even can change the type of that. We even can decide what is the other additional things that should be given for this particular field. Okay. So now let me tell you what are the additional properties that we can view for the additional configurations that we can view for the field. So that are these guys. Okay. So you all can see, right? You all can see these three things. One is read only, one is mandatory, one is display. So what is this read only? What is this read only field and where we use this particular read only field? So if you observe that whenever we created the table, we got to know 6 fields are created. Each and every field is a read only field, guys. Each and every field is a read only field where some automation is been acting on that particular field that is going to give the who is created by a particular person, who is the person who created the record, and if in the created date, created field, it will show the date and time when the record is being created. Okay, so some automation is being given in the backend, and that will automatically display the data in the front end form. So if we want to do such kind of thing, that particular field should not be written by someone. That should automatically pick the data by its own based on the condition that I keep. For that particular cases, I can use read only option. Okay. For that particular case, I can use read only option. Whereas coming to this second option, that is mandatory. What is this mandatory? So whenever you keep any field as a mandatory, then we need to must enter the data inside that particular field to save the record. Otherwise, we can't save that record. Okay. Otherwise, we can't save that record. So please write, note it down, guys. Whenever you are keeping the field mandatory, it is must to enter the data in that particular field that you have made mandatory. If you are not entering the data in that particular field, it won't allow you to save the data into the database. Okay. So these are two things. These are the two main configurations that you need to know. Whereas coming to this display, it is used based on the reference field that you are selecting. Okay. So I will tell you about this display when we are working on the next concept called one-to-many relationship. Okay. So guys, just wait for a few more minutes. We will going to discuss that as well. So as for now, let me change the call label name back to student fee. And now let me change the data type as well. Guys, please wait for 5 minutes. Okay. So I have a meeting. Don't wait. Don't worry. I will going to join once again in this particular meet. Until then, one person is going to join here. They will take care of the queries. If you want to ask any queries to that person, you can ask in the Q&A. Okay. So just wait for 5 to 10 minutes. In that particular time, you can ask your queries, and I will join one person here. They will take care of the questions. Then after we will continue class. Okay. everyone, I'm back, guys. So I hope everyone can hear me. Please say yes or no in the Q&A. Mm, Guys, please say yes or no in the Q&A whether you are able to hear me or not. Let me continue the session because it's already enough time is been there to complete this concept that I have started. So let me complete that topic quickly so that we can end our session today. Okay. Yep, that's great. I got few responses here. So let me share the screen once again. Um, Share it. Tell me, guys, whether you're able to see that or not. It's clearly visible for you people. Yep. So now we are discussing how we can change the properties of a field. Okay. So and what are the different properties that we have in the particular field configuration. Okay. So I already discussed about these three things. One is read only, one is mandatory, one is display. So whereas coming to this read only, that particularly applies to a field that should be automatically updating the data in the table. Okay, so considering that we have a 6 fields that are defaultly created, each and every field is a read-only field where each and every field is auto-populating the data inside that particular field. Okay, so whereas coming to this mandatory is the configuration that we give for the fields that should be filled properly. That should be filled properly whenever whenever we are entering the data in the particular record. So whenever we are saving any record in that table, suppose we want to save that record and we want to collect a data of a student, that should be some kind of a thing. The student is not entering his name, so that the entire data that he's entered is waste of time, right? So I can make a field student name is a mandatory field so that that particular student must enter the name of the particular student. Then I can find the student and I can call him once again and I can ask him what are the other details that you need to fill and they can fill that properly. Okay. So that's why we will use the mandatory functionality depends on the configuration that is required for our table. And whereas coming to the display, this display is used whenever we are using a reference table. Okay. I will tell you whenever you are using one-to-many relationship, we used reference tables over there and we call that as a one-to-many relationship. I will discuss that later. So let me also change the type of a data type that we have choose as a price, right? Let me change that to currency so that we can add our student fee. Okay. So these how we are going to change the properties of a field in a table. Okay. So let me click on update. So here you can see entire thing is been changed once again. Previously it was in the college fee name with the college fee. Now it is been changed to the student fee once again. And you all can see all the fields having its own data type now. So now let me check with a different perspective where we are going to create a fields. Okay. So let me go and choose second way from the form. The second way is form design. Okay. The second way is form design, guys. The first way is form layout. That is very simple where we can enter the fields data very fastly. Where we can decide the field data type as well, and we can add them at a time and we can save that. Okay. Whereas coming to this form design, we have one more thing here we need to discuss. Whereas coming to this form design, that will open in the separate page firstly. Okay. So the page will be remaining here only. The record page will be remaining here only, but you will see the page that should be opened in the separate page. Okay. So all the fields that you are going to see will be visible over here. And if you want to create any field, we need to change that to the field data types, field types. Okay. Then after we can see all the data types that are visible over here. We can drag the data type that we want and we can create that. Okay. So now let me create two fields over here with one name with the date of joining, one with the date of, sorry, passed out here. Okay. So for that two fields, I'm going to choose one single data type that is date of birth. Okay. Date. Now let me enter the name here. That is date of joining. So here one more additional advantage that we have here is, guys, whereas coming to working in the form layout, we can't define the API name that should be displayed to the field. Okay. Whereas coming to this particularly form design and form builder also, we even can decide what should be the API name of the field. Okay. What should be the API name of the field? We even can decide that. Okay. So these how we can decide the API name of the field. And from here also we even can directly make a field mandatory or field read only. So now let me show you some things like I will make one field mandatory, one field read only here. For this particularly I'm making read only. Okay. The field is created. Now let me drag one more data type here, that is date, and let me change the properties of the field now. So click on this gear icon to change the properties. Now the field name is passed out here. Okay. So let me use this passed out here as my API name also, so that I can easily identify my field. So for this particularly, I'm using mandatory. Okay. So now what are the fields that I want to create? I have created here. Okay. I have created here. So now I will show you one more thing, guys. One more thing that we can do using form design. So we even can add sections over here. That means for this particular data, I want to divide this data in the different formats. So where I want to see the student main data in the particular thing, and I want to see student college data in the next section. I want to see student personal certificate section should be in a separately. So for that, if I want to divide that particularly, then there here we have one more option called plus icon. Okay. So if I click on this plus icon, what happens? It will create one more section over here, and even I can decide how many columns should be displayed over here. So I can decide that should be one column, then all the fields should be displayed in the single line. If I decide that I should be displayed in the two columns, then we even can decide two fields should be displayed in the single horizontal line. Okay. So now let me drag these two. Okay. I can name the section as well, guys. College info. Yeah, sorry. I will go slow. No problem. Let me name that as college info. Okay. So now what we did, we have added two fields. Then after we have added one more section where we have observed that we even can divide the fields into two parts. Okay. We even can divide the fields into two parts. We even can do that for the first column also. If I want to do that for the first column, we even can do that. So if I want to see the data birth should be on the left side, sorry, on the right side, and student email should be on the right side, and rest of the field should be on the left side. I can decide that and I can save that. Okay. So whatever the configurations that you want to perform, whatever the fields that you have want to create, that was done here. That was done here. Now let me show you. Now let me show you in the preview. Okay. So previously the preview looks like this. So now we have changed the preview in the form design. Sorry guys, we have changed the preview in the form design. For that particularly, we need to refresh the page because we are working on the different tabs, right? So let me refresh the page to see the changes. The idea how it is displaying, guys. Got the idea how it is displaying? I can see these fields are on the left side. These two fields are on the right side. Now I can see one more section has been added over here. In this particular section, I can see date of joining is a read-only field where I can't enter the data into that particular field. And whereas coming to this passed out here, if I won't enter any data in this passed out here, I can't save that record. So let me check that. Okay, let me click on submit here. It is asking to fill the value in the mandatory field. That is, should be passed out here, should be mentioned over here. Then only I can save the record. Let me enter only passed out here and check that whether I am saving the record with entering only single field data, that is mandatory field data. Okay. So passed out here is 30, 25. Okay. Let me click on submit. Got the idea how I'm saving that particularly? Okay. So these how the additional configuration works on the field. Okay. So now we will discuss one more type that we have. Okay. So one more type that we have is form. So let me choose that. So the same way, guys, we are always going to the contextual menu. After config form builder. So this will also open in a different page, different tab. Will also open in a different tab, and where the preview is will somewhat modified, guys. Here the preview is somewhat modified, where here we have a lot of additional advantages where we want to create that. Okay. So whereas coming to the form layout and form design, that's two are the previous versions that we have used. Okay. Whereas coming to this particularly, this is the latest updated version that we got, that is form builder. Okay. So here, if you want to create any field, we can directly click on add a new field in the table. It will show the where I can decide the label name and I can decide the API name. I can decide the data type of that particular field. Okay. So let me decide that. So let me create one field called student department. Student department. Okay. So it is automatically generating the API name for me. Previously, whereas coming to the form design, I need to manually enter the API name. That is giving random API name, right? That is not the standard API name that we can use. That is the random API name that is giving itself. But we use that API name. What happens? We will get lot of confusions whenever you're working on any kind of automations, because we always pick the API names whenever you're working on the automations, right? So that's why we always use the API names that should be similar to the label names. Okay. So it is generating the API name for me automatically. Then after I can decide the type. So whereas coming to the student department, so whenever a student is joining in the college, he can choose any department he wants. Okay. So there will be multiple departments over there. In that particularly, students will choose one department, right? So let me choose a data type where I can decide that kind of things. So for that particularly, we have one data type called choice. Okay. We have one data type called choice. Let me click on this. Okay. So if I click on this add, it will be added to the left side preview. So let me show you that. So it is not added on the form preview, guys. It is not added on the form preview. It is added on the left side, where we need to manually drag that and we need to locate that where should be displayed that. Okay. So now let me drag that to the form where I want to display this. Okay. So here we need to know what are the properties that you can do in the form layout. What are the properties that you can do in the form design? That all can be do in the form builder in the additional way. Okay. So where we are going to the properties of the field in the form design. Here, we even can see all the properties in the right side pane. Here you can see all the properties in the right side pane. Okay. So it is directly showing the properties where each and every field details is been mentioned. If you want to change the label name, we can change that. If you want to change the type, we can change that. We even can decide whether this particular field should be displayed or not. If that is not active, then it won't display on the form. And we even can decide that particular field should be read only or mandatory. So then after, we are going to deal with all these things later on, guys. So here comes one more thing. We have added a choice, right? So let me show the preview ones. Okay. So student department, I haven't added any choices over here. Let me save this. After saving that, I can go back to the student page. I can refresh the page where I can see the field that is updated. Okay. So here you can see student department has been there. And if I click on this particularly, I can't choose any department that is there. Okay, but I want to add any choices in that particularly. I have multiple options here. I have multiple options here. So I will tell you few ways where I can add this. So previously, whenever I'm creating this particular field on the form design, okay. So on the form, sorry, on the form builder, if I click on that particular field, it will show the properties where I have one option called choices. Okay, where I have one option called choices. If I click on edit, I can directly add the choices in this. Okay, I can click on edit. I can directly add the choices on this. So let me add the choices. CSC. It will give the automatically API name of that. Next, IT. Okay, I have added two choices. Let me save this, apply this, and let me show you whether these particular two choices is been given in the form or not. Save that. Then after going to the previous tab, let me refresh the page. Show you. So here you can see CSC and ID has been displayed. Okay, here you can see CSC and ID has been displayed. Now let me show you one more way where I can add this particular choices. So one is from form builder, right? Where you have observed that. Now let me go to the form design. Okay, let me go to the form design. Here, let me refresh this page also where I can't see the field. Now I can see the field. If I go to the field properties, from here also I can enter the choices. Okay, from here also I can enter the choices. Let me add AI and one more called DS. Okay, so now I have added two more choices. Let me save this. This is the second way where you can add the choices, guys. Let me show that on the form. So it is not showing. Let me refresh that. Whenever you are working on the different tabs, right? If that particular data should be displayed on the form, then you need to refresh the form. Then only that will be replaced with and refreshed with the configurations that you have done in the previous thing. Okay, so now I can see all the four choices. Okay, now I can see all the four choices. If I want to add few more fields, few more choices. Now I have seen that adding two ways, one from the form builder, one from the form design. Okay, I can't add any choices from the form layout, guys. I can't add any choices from the form layout, but I can create a field using choice layout. So form layout, but I can create a field using a form layout, but I can't add a fields using form layout. You need to know that. Okay, but we can add the choices values also using form builder as well as form design. But we have two more ways also. So we have discussed two ways, and let me discuss two more ways. So for that, I'm going to the field here. I'm going to the field here. Let me click on this field name, right click on this. Here, for this particular choice data types only, I can see configure choices. Okay, I can see configure choices. If I click on this, it will go to the different page where I can see one option here at the bottom, enter new item. So click on this, I can add the item here. So make add it, and that is going to add over here. And if I want to add one more call, one more thing, what is this? Let me add few more. Civil. So I have added two more things, that is mech and civil. Let me save this. Okay. So after saving that, let me check whether I can see that. You all can see that, right? You all can see that. Okay. So these are the three ways. I will show one more way. I will show one more way. For that, same, you need to click on the field. Then you need to go to the config dictionary over here. So after going to the config dictionary, if you scroll down, you will see in the related list, we are going to see one option called choices. So from this also, we are going to give the choices for the field. So let me enter one more field. Guys, please use some suggestions here. So, please give suggestions, guys. Few branches names. Yeah, Tribly. Okay, now that's fine. So let me enter the name Tribly. So from entering the values from the config dictionary, we have disadvantages where we need to enter the value also. Okay. So if you're not entering the value, that won't be appear on the form. Okay. We need to manually enter the value also, triple E. And let me add one more, EC. ECE. So these how we are going to create multiple choices in a single choice data type using different ways. Okay, let me click on update. So if I click on the drop down, I can see all the choices that I have created. Okay. So guys, got the clarity here? Guys, please let me know, got the clarity? How I am adding choices using different ways. One from the form design, one from the form builder, one from the config choices, one from the config dictionary. Yes. So you need to know all the options that are there for the single thing to do, guys. That is very important. You need to know and the difference between these two things that are adding also. So if you observe that when I'm adding the values from the form builder, the API name is automatically generating for me, but that is different in the whenever I'm adding values from the form design, it is not generating the API names for me. Okay, but if I go over the next one, that is form config choices. Okay, so if I click on the field, if I select the config choices, what it is showing, it is automatically displaying the API names. I'm not entering any API name over there. I'm entering the item name. That's it. I'm adding that to the config choice that should be displayed on the form. It is automatically generating one API name for me for that. Okay, so here API name is nothing but a value for the field. Okay, so whereas coming to the config dictionary, it is different, right? I need to manually go to the choices. I need to manually go to the choices. Then after I need to manually add the value of the label also. So whatever the label choice that I'm entering, for that label choice, I need to enter the value also. Then only that should be defined and that can be called through any other automations. Okay. So got the clarity, guys? The clarity, guys? If you got the clarity, I will continue the next thing, guys. Please let me know. Please raise the thumbs ups for me. So first we will discuss the differences. Then after we will continue the next thing. So guys, whereas coming to the form layout. Okay. First thing about the form layout. Thing about the form layout is we can create multiple fields at a time. We can create multiple fields at a time without even looking the API names, without even worrying about the data type that we are defining. Okay. It automatically creates one API name for us and it automatically create a field on the form. We don't need to manually add that to the form. Okay. So whereas coming to the form design, firstly, it will open that in the different tab. Okay. If you click on the form design, it will automatically open our form in the different tab. Then after, we need to manually decide the data type that we want to create. Whatever the field that we want to create, we need to manually define the data type for that. Then after, we need to manually edit the API name also. We need to manually edit the API name also. And where we can see we even can create the sections in the form, right? We have created section in the form. That is very easy in the form design. But if you go for the form layout, that will be bit difficult, guys. Okay. So I will let you know how we are going to create section in the form layout also. No need to worry. So little bit difficult if you perform that section action in the form layout, but it is easy in the form design. But similar goes with the form builder also. There are no differences in the form builder and form design, but we have a different preview that is a totally upgraded preview, and where if you create any field that won't be automatically adding to the form, that will be adding to the formatter. Okay, so we need to manually drag that to the form. We need to manually drag that to the form. That's it. Okay. And if you go for the properties of the field, we even can see lot of properties coming to the form builder. But if you go for the form layout, we can't see the properties of the field. And if you go for the form design, we can see only two properties, that is field mandatory or field road only. Okay. But whereas coming to the form builder, we can see lot of properties like formula, default value, and other configurations that we have for that. Okay. So got the clarity, guys? There are a lot of differences that you observe. If you build that in your instance only, then you can get to see what are the things that are going to happen. Okay. So let me quickly create one more field also, so that you will get a good idea about the choice. Okay. Choice field. So let me go to the here we have form builder. Here we have form design. Whatever the way that you want to let me tell you guys. Choose a way. I will choose that and I will display that. Uh, Bala Saraswati, please check with your connection because everyone can see the screen and everyone can get it. So now let me create that particular choice field using form layout. Okay. So going to the form, here I can see the form of a student, right? So to create a field, I need to go to the context menu, config, then after form layout. So from here, I'm creating a field called choice field. That is a skill set. Okay. So in this skill set, I can choose multiple. I can add multiple skill sets. Okay. Let me choose for choice here. Search for choice. Yep, choice. Let me click on add. So I can click on add, but I can't add the choices that should be displayed for the form, that should be displayed on the field properties, that is skill set. So for that, what I need to do, I need to save this to the form. Then after, what I need to decide what are the choices that should be displayed, I need to manually enter that. Okay. So you can see there are no choices. Let me go to the field form config dictionary or config choices. So let me add ServiceNow. Admin, add it. ServiceNow, developer. You are not able to observe the API name of the field choices that you are giving, right? So let me save that. I will show the API names also. Okay. So you can see, I can see the two choices that I have added. So if I go for the skill set, config dictionary, the choices, if I go scroll down in the choices, I can see the values also. Okay. The same name that should be displayed on the value, so that we can even easily identify what are the choices values that we kept, and we can drag that to the automation very easily. Okay. So these how we are going to add the choices in the choice data type. Okay, guys, got the clarity? And how I'm using different form layouts that we have. Sir, for my instant and then IST is not there. Can I leave this as long? Jyoti Satya Pani Kumari, no problem. You can use any time zone that you want, because I just told that we can configure our own time zone. That's it. So how you can do that? Go to that particular field, config dictionary, go to the choices and make that particular field inactive as true. So sorry, inactive as false. Guys, I have displayed this multiple times. So this is the last time that I'm showing that. Okay. So go to the user menu, profile. Here is the field, right? This is also one form where we have for particular fields. So I'm just clicking on the field, right click on that, config dictionary, So here I can't see the choices of the field. For that, I need to go to the advanced view to see the choices. So scroll down, I can see the choices. From here, search for IST. After you will find the Indian Standard Time Zones. So here you will observe that inactive is true. That means you can't see that field. What you need to do, inactive should be false. For that, you can double click on that and make that as a false and save that. Okay. So after saving this, please update this so that it will directly applies to the field. Okay. Then after you can search for the IST and you can select that IST and update the record. That's that's how that simple we can create that. Okay. So shall we discuss one more thing, guys? Shall we discuss one more thing? Shall we discuss one more topic? One-to-many relationships that will be completed in within time that we have. Yeah. So let me discuss one more topic that is one-to-many relationship. Okay. So whereas coming to this one-to-many relationship, before creating one-to-many relationship for this particular table, the student table, now let me go and show you how this one-to-many relationships look like and where we are going to see that. Okay. So if I go to the PPT, you can see we have an option called schema mapping, guys. Schema mapping is a map thing that provides a graphical representation of other tables related to the specific table. Relationships can be filtered by extension or reference classes by checking the appropriate boxes at the top of the map. Okay, so you can see here one example is also given. It is showing the exact that are there in the task table. Okay, so how many tables are referred to that and how many tables are extended from that and how many tables are there in that particular table, you all can see that tables. Okay, so let me show you for the incident table. Okay, so let me go for the incident table. So to show the things of a schema map or to show the reference fields that are there, I need to go to the tables. Let me click on these tables. So here I can see all the tables that are there. Let me search for the incident. Click on the incident. If you scroll down, guys, if you scroll down in the related links, okay, in the related links, you can see one option called show schema map. Show schema map. So before I'm showing the schema map, I will show you the reference tables that we have in the incident form. Okay, so let me search for the create new where I can show the incident new form. Now I'm in the incident new form. So here we have different fields, right? Here we have different fields. One is number, one is caller, one is category, one is subcategory, one is service, one is service offerings, one is configuration item. So here you can see all the different fields that we have. Here few are the reference fields, guys. Here few are the reference fields. So how you are identifying that is the different fields. So firstly, we can see one lookup icon is there. Okay, so you always see one lookup icon beside the field value. Okay, so this is the field and this is the value that we are going to enter. Beside that, we can see one lookup icon that is considering that as a reference data type. Okay, so consider that particular thing as a reference data type field. Okay, so you always see that for the reference data type field. So why I'm using this reference data type field for the caller is like I need to call the users. Okay, in this particular field, I want to select which caller is creating the record. Okay, that means which user is going to create a ticket in the system. So here user need to specify his name. Okay, suppose test user 3 is going to create a record. Test user 3 is going to create a raise a ticket. Now caller as should be test user 3. Then after here in the short description, I need to mention the issue testing. testing the ticket as my issue. Then after you can see we have a lot of things that are not mandatory. I can save the record. I can save the record. But if I'm not entering value in these two particular fields, that is caller as well as that is short description, I can't save the record. So for that particularly, I need to mention the caller as well as short description. So whereas coming to the caller, you can see if I click on the lookup icon here, I can see the table name, guys. If I click on the lookup icon, I can see the table name. What is the table name? Users. Okay. Users is the table name where I can see all the users that are available in our system. Okay. So same particular thing is going to given for the assignment group as well as assigned to. Okay. So whereas coming to the assignment groups, if I click on this lookup icon, you will see the groups table is been acting on that. Okay, so groups table is been acting as a reference table where I can select any group that is been there. So even I can search for the created group that we have created. We have created one group called ServiceNow, guys. ServiceNow admin group, ServiceNow test group, right? So we even can select our own groups also. Okay, so this how we are going to choose the reference as our table so that we are going to collect the data inside the table to the table that we are going to use. Okay. So for this particular incident, these are the reference fields. One is caller, one is service offering, one is configuration item, one is assignment group, one last one is assigned to. So each and every caller is been used each and every difference data table is been using different tables to collect the data from the table, and that data is also applicable to this table. So this how we are defining one-to-many relationship. Here, incident is one, and we are collecting data from different tables, right? Okay. So we are collecting data from the users, we are collecting data from the groups, we are collecting data from the services, we are collecting data from the service offerings, we are collecting data from the configuration items. So that is nothing but we are collecting data from the different tables to create our own configurations to be completed in our thing. Okay. So now let me show you how we are going to create one in our system. And I want to display the schema map also, right? So I have discussed this. So you got to know these are the reference tables that we have. So now let me show you in the schema map as well. You will identify which are the things that are there as a reference fields. Right? So let me go back to the tables. Now I'm in the incident table. Okay, go to the schema map, show schema map. So you all can see in the related links, you will see show schema map. Click on this. It will show the graphical representation of a table. Now you can see it is showing the extended table. Okay, so this particular incident table is been extended from task table. You can see show extended table. If I remove this, it won't show that. I can see only incident table here. I can see only incident table here. So it is not extending any tables. Okay, I'm not extending any table from the incident table. That's why it is not showing any extending tables from this particular table. If I want to see from which table I got this table, I can show. If I click on this, it will automatically show this table is coming from the task table. Okay. If I want to show the reference tables, I can show refer to tables. Here you can see. You can see these are the different referencing refer to tables that is collecting data from the incident. If I want to show referring tables, means data is being collected from the incident. That is only from the incident task. Okay. So incident is also a reference field for incident task. Okay. Incident task is a table. In that particularly, we are using one field as a reference field. In that particular field, I am going to collect the incidents. Okay. So these how we are going to see all the reference tables that are available in our. Okay. So now let me show you how we are going to create one reference table. Okay. Let me show you how we are going to create one reference table. So for that, you all know multiple ways to create a fields now. So now I can use any field, anything, right? I can use anything. So you can understand. Let me close all this mess. so that you will understand clearly. Okay. So let me go to the student, because we are always working on the students so that we can identify the customizations. For new, you can see now I'm in the student form. Now let me go and create one field. So I'm using form layout. So let me add one field here. That is, uh, so I'm just testing the field, guys. Okay, I'm not making any scenario here. So for test users, I'm just calling test users over here. So I want to call all the users that are there in our system should be representing in the student table. Okay, so let me call that as a name with the test users. Now let me choose the data type as reference. So then after, let me choose the table. Okay. So after selecting the data type as reference, it is showing one more column, table to refer. So that means from which table I want to display the data. Okay. That means records. So let me search for my table. This underscore user. So I got it. So this is the reference table. I want to add it. Click on add. Then after, let me drag this one to under student fee. Let me click on save. Now you all can see one reference field has been added. Okay, one reference field has been added. Okay, you all can see one reference field has been added. Particularly, I can see all the users. Okay, so if I click on lookup, I can see all the users records. Okay, I can see all the users record. If I select any user, I will see that user is been automatically selected in this particular record. Okay, guys, got the clarity? So I will continue this reference tables things in the tomorrow's class also, because we have only 10 minutes of time. Let me also give task for you people. Then after, uh, discuss something that should be discussed in this particular 10 minutes. Okay. This is the work of reference tables, guys. How we are going to use reference tables. But there is a lot more thing to be discussed in this particular reference table. I will tell you the class. So if you have any kind of doubts in this within 10 minutes, you can ask me. I'm going to definitely answer that, guys. As well as I'm going to give the task for you today. That should be done today. Okay. So let me give the task as well, guys. Guys, why you are working on the quiz? Why you are always chasing about the quiz? So don't worry about the quiz first of all. So I already told that there is not a much requirement about the quiz result. Okay. So if you have any kind of doubts in this particular today's topic, you can ask me. Monica, you can check the recordings. I already discussed this particular thing 2 times. Okay. So in these recordings, you can observe that how I am changing my time to IST. Guys, in this particular 10 minutes of time, you can ask me anything. That means if you have any kind of queries that should be asked in this particular 10 minutes from this today's class, you can ask me. So we have discussed multiple data types, how we are going to use that data types. So what you can do is what you can do is you can use all the data types, guys, all the data types that we have. Okay, so try to use all the data types. If you have any kind of errors, please try to ask that to me in the tomorrow's class, because if you use all the data types, you will face multiple errors. You will face multiple errors to store the data in that particular form to the record in that particular table. Okay, so please try to work on that. Try to work on each and every field data type that you have. If you are facing any kind of trouble, if you're kind of facing any kind of trouble, you can ask me that question in tomorrow's class. Okay. As well as try to use all the data types. Okay. Yeah, Monica, please wait for some time. Tomorrow, by the tomorrow's class starting time, the definitely recordings will be uploaded. So already I have told that people multiple times recording should be uploaded day by day, but they are not giving enough time, I think so. So no need to worry. I will make sure that that will be uploaded. Okay. So tell me definitions of all three types of forms. There is no particular definitions, guys. Venkata Ramana, there is no particular definitions for that. But each and every type has their own uniqueness. That's okay. Clarity, guys. So let me share today's task as well. Just wait for 2 minutes in the chat, guys. I'm going to share today's task for all of you. Everyone should complete. I hope everyone is working on the lab activities, and there are some technical difficulties that you may face because instance is not opening and everyone are not able to work on the instance. No need to worry, okay? Because ServiceNow people is been working on the instance, so they will resolve that, and I will also let you know when you are able to get the instance properly. So please wait, guys. No need to worry about that. In the last class, I have shared. One link to be completed as Introduction to Generative AI. So today I'm going to share one link. So this is ServiceNow Fundamentals on Demand course link. You people need to start working on this, guys. I'm going to share the link in this Q&A. You people need to start working on this particular course from today. You all can check the link. Please try to start working on this course from today. If that is completed, you can continue with the next courses that we have in the NOSCOM. Okay. And meanwhile, working on the courses, if you have any kind of doubts, please don't hesitate to ask in the Telegram group. Okay. And if no one is responding in the Telegram group, please let me know, guys. I'm going to assign some persons for you so that they will explain it. So, introduction to generative AI is not visible to me in ServiceNow. That will visible in Now Learning, guys. Okay. So, let me check that as well. Which one is the link? Let me share the link for you once again. Mm, just- just- guys, I will share that link tomorrow, okay? Because there is some technical issue with the generative AI. Anyone shared any Google form for you people, guys? Please let me know. Anyone shared any Google form for you? Please let me know. Anyone shared with any Google form with you where you can collect the entire things? So, please post the link in the Telegram group. So please post the link in the Telegram. Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm going to post the link in the Telegram group also. Okay, no problem. I'm going to post that. I'm also make sure that pin to that everyone so everyone can easily identify and complete that. That's good. Yeah, guys, leave it that. If you have any kind of doubts in the today's session, please let me know. We have wasted some time in our class, so that sorry for that. I think we have wasted 20 minutes of time. So if that 20 minutes are there for today's, I think we are going to complete one-to-many relationship today. So no need to worry, we will complete that tomorrow. Guys, if you have any kind of queries, you can ask me in the Q&A. And I hope everyone is enjoying the classes and everyone is learning something from the classes. Ishwari, today's task is to work on each and every data type. Each and every person should create fields using each and every data type. Okay. So try to create all the data types using different field names and try to check how the data is been entering in that particular data type. If you have any kind of errors, if you are facing any kind of errors while working on that, or if you are facing any doubts, you can ask me in the tomorrow's class. Okay. And try to use all the data types, all the field types also, form layout, form design, form builder, how they are working and how they are implementing in the form. Okay. So where we want to submit our chartbird certificate. Manikya, please wait for that. I don't have any confirmation. So they told that they will share one mail for you where in that particular mail you are going to receive one Google form. You need to fill that form with a certificate. So they will let you know, guys. No need to worry. Venkataramana, that's the same thing that I am repeating from the first day of the class. The links that I am sharing in the particular meet, right? That all links already given in the NASCOM platform. Okay, so if you want to complete that, you can directly complete that from accessing from the NASCOM itself. You can click on the link from the NASCOM. You can directly start working on that. Otherwise, you can access that using the link that I'm sharing also. Okay, no need to worry. I'm so not I am going to share any mail, guys. So operation team people will going to share you a mail where in that particularly they are going to collect the data. Okay. So I hope everyone got the clarity about the three different ways where we are going to create a fields, and I think you have got the clarity of creating properties and field configurations as well. And we have discussed the different things also, like for single data type, how many ways we are going to enter the values in that particular data type. So I think everyone got the good clarity how we are going to work on the farms, how we are going to fill the data in the particular fields. Okay. So I think no one has any doubts, guys. Sir, in Telegram group, NASCOM link not there, sir. Satyadev, it is there. Already it was shared in the first day or second day. It is already in the pinned section. Please check that in the pinned. If that is not available, please let me know. So I will going to share that once again. About today's task. Yeah, link has been shared, guys. That is this particular link. You people need to start working on this from the now learning. And whereas coming to the working on the developer instance, you can work on the concept that we have discussed today. So, and once again, thank you each and every person who has been joined in the meet. And everyone, please try to work on the concept that we have discussed. If you have any kind of doubts, you can ask me in the Telegram group. Some people out there in the Telegram group, they will definitely reply to you. If they are not replying, please tell me, guys. I'm going to answer for that. Okay. Um, and one more important thing is like everyone, please try to complete the courses that has been assigned to you. Okay. So that is from the NASCOM, right? So you all can see all the links in the NASCOM also. So start working on that and try to complete that as well. And that's all for the day, guys. You all can leave the session. And thank you everyone for joining in the class. Bye everyone. Have a nice day. Enjoy the day. So lastly, I want to ask everyone, please type the emoji, thumbs up emoji. Everyone, please try to type the thumbs up emoji. Not in the Q&A. We have an emoji option separately where we can directly type that. Thank you for all of your efforts. Okay, guys. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day. Try to work on the concepts. Bye, everyone. We will see you tomorrow, and we will discuss more concept, and we will learn more concept tomorrow. Bye. Veera Venkata, please try to contact that through Telegram group. Okay, so they will reply. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.